Hey guys, Sparks back with another Goddess Victory Nikke video, and I am testing Asuka here in the shooting range against a boss, and we are going to see how good she is. We're in the shooting range using kind of like a basic team here with Modernia, the schoolgirls, and Leader. There's a couple things that I want to look at here. See if she is getting triggered by Tia's shield status, and also how she compares to another really strong DPS like Modernia, and then how good she will be after I overload her and increase her skills. So currently Asuka is at kind of like a baseline of what I think everyone should be able to upgrade her to. She's at affection level 10, and she has all normal gear to level 5 but no overloads, and skill levels of 4. So let's see, we have a shield now, so let's see what the effects are on Asuka. Assault tactics. So does she have assault tactics? She does. Okay, so Tia is giving her the buff here. That's good to know that that is triggering Asuka's assault tactics ability. That is definitely valuable because she is now going to get damage to strong element units. We're also going to do comparisons of her versus units that are not win code. All right, let's go ahead and continue with the test. Okay, let's see what our damage is. We're starting out with 1.46 billion damage here. And let's take a look at the stats. Modernia is doing way more damage than Asuka. This is not surprising at all, considering my Modernia is heavily invested and optimized, and we're doing kind of like a baseline Asuka here. So let's go ahead and do another test with Asuka against units, against a unit that is not her strong element. And then I'll upgrade her and test her against wind and units that are not her strong element as well. Alright, so we just finished a test against the iron element, and we're going to see if this is a lot lower. And right away, we can tell that it is. We're getting like 0.4 billion less damage. So that is a really big decrease in damage here. So we're using the exact same squad, but we did like nearly 40% more damage against the strong element, which does track with what we would expect based on just the normal elemental advantage and the advantage from Asuka. That does pretty much, that is pretty much the math that I would expect. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and upgrade her, and then we will do this against the same squad and see how big of a difference it is when we have max overloads and max affection level and maxed out skills. Now technically my Modernia is still more invested. Modernia has a couple cores. She also has really optimized overload lines, but Asuka is now highly invested. So although at a slight disadvantage, should be reasonably comparable. Also, this isn't the best case scenario for Modernia because Modernia is going to be bursting against a single target. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, we've already surpassed our previous damage record. This is looking really good, guys. This is looking very, very good. Alright, let's see. Okay, our previous record for this was 1.46. We're now getting 1.99. This is a massive increase with a fully invested Asuka. So she's now at affection level 30, has level 5 overloaded helmet, chest, and arms with a few good overload lines of attack and elemental damage. I also maxed out her skills to all level 10. Now let's see, how does her damage compare to Modernia? She's right there. She is barely behind her. This is really good. Now consider this. Asuka is buffing both herself but all fire allies, which includes Modernia. Now this is not an ideal scenario for Modernia because she's bursting against a single target, so she's getting a little bit of a nerf from herself, to be honest. But this is still extremely good. My Modernia has a couple of cores on her and very optimized overload lines. So this is looking very, very good for Asuka. And she is worthy of a lot of investment. Yeah, the numbers don't lie. Okay, so now we're going to do a test and see how she performs against a enemy that is not wind code, where she doesn't have the elemental damage. Our previous record on that against iron code was almost exactly 1 billion. So we'll see how this compares in just a second. Because the thing is, with her own buff, she just doesn't really need a hit rate upgrade, but she's not always getting the buff 100% of the time, so I think having one line of hit rate at least is going to be beneficial. But definitely lean into that elemental damage and attack. And we'll see exactly what the difference is. I mean, already, we're doing way less damage here because we're not getting the elemental buff. So I think leaning into elemental damage is a really big deal for Asuka. Nice, Joe Sauce got 4 elemental damage lines on her, very nice. And then after this, we'll do a quick test with Crown just to make sure if her ability activates the quote-unquote shield status. Alright, let's see what the results are. This was against an iron team. We did get an improvement, so we are now dealing 1.34 billion damage here. Now, this is an increase of 0.34 or 340 million damage over our previous uninvested Asuka against the iron team. But this is a lot less than elemental damage. So the elemental damage clearly does make a really big difference for Asuka. Let's check and see what this looks like versus Modernia. All right, the difference is a little bit bigger here, as one might expect, because Asuka has a lot of things going for her where the mechanics are specifically going to be good against those wind type units, but still putting up a pretty strong result here. Again, my Modernia is extremely optimized. So, pretty solid result, and nearly on par when you are fighting a wind unit. Okay, we'll be back here really quick with just a quick test to see if Crown will trigger her skill. Alright, so we are back to testing. Now we're going to see if Crown's shield will activate Asuka's skill against elemental damage. And let's see. Go to Asuka. And assault tactics, yes, damage up 30% for elemental damage. So that's really good news to see that Crown will work for this. So both Tia and Crown will activate that elemental advantage buff. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I would say for an optimized team, we'd probably actually want to do something like this team here for a raid, except without Modernia. We might instead put in Red Hood. Also, we're probably going to be using Tia on a solo raid because we want to split them up. But it kind of depends. You may want to still be using Crown. Depends on the boss, exactly what other squads you have. But I think a theoretical optimized team for a solo raid would be pretty much this team that we see here, except swapping out Modernia for Red Hood. But you never know. Maybe we do an entirely fire team, and then once Rey is out, that can definitely change our team structure for solo raid as well. But something to think about. Let me know what your results of Asuka have been in the comments below. Hopefully this helped you out. We confirmed a few things here, and we can see that Asuka has a lot of potential. I can definitely recommend pulling for her. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my full review of her after doing extensive testing of her and trying out different squad comps in all different game modes. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video or stream.